Hello and welcome to the August edition of Pork Talk, where we will be focusing on our latest production forecast for the British pig industry. Clean pig slaughter is expected to remain above 2020 levels for the latter part of the year, although growth should slow compared to the first half, which was influenced by a backlog of pigs from last year. Overall, slaughter is forecast to be nearly 5% higher than last year. Slaughter numbers should be lower in 2022, influenced by a declining breeding herd. Up to the end of 2020, we believe herd expansion was underway, which supports slaughter numbers up to the middle of this year. However, poor profitability has likely led to some herd contraction this year. At this time, we estimated 2% contraction in sow numbers this year, followed by a smaller contraction next year. Carcass weights were well above those in previous years in late 2020 and early 2021. The general trend is for increasing carcass weights, influenced by improving genetic potential and contracts that allow higher weights. This winter is an exception, as weights last winter were excessively high due to slaughter delays. Altogether, pig meat production is forecast to increase by 6% this year. However, next year volumes are expected to be about 2% lower. For the remainder of this year, demand in Britain is anticipated to remain strong overall. However, the eating out market will start to grow at the expense of retail volumes. Our higher production levels help support the strong demand levels, and pork availability is also boosted by lower export volumes, which have struggled with logistical difficulties supplying both the EU and China. This ought to keep a cap on import levels. Nonetheless, it remains to be seen whether our demand will be sufficient, or through the channels most supportive of domestic product, to enable strong British pork prices over the coming months. To learn more about the latest outlook for the British pork industry, please take a look at our Agri-Market Outlook pages, where you will also find projections for other sectors and inputs.